Let me start with something that might surprise you. Most people, they don't retire too early. They actually retire too late. Not because they need more money, but because they're waiting for a number that never feels safe enough. And after helping thousands of retirees plan their transition over these decades, here at Valoram Solutions, I can tell you something with certainty. The people who retire successfully don't do it because they hit a magic number. They do it because they recognize a specific set of signs. Today, I'm going to show you 6 signs you're actually ready to retire, even if you don't feel ready yet. And if you recognize yourself in these, it might change how you think about retirement entirely. Okay, Lisa, we're going over the signs. There's signs everywhere, right? Let's go over these 6 signs that you are ready for retirement.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, Alvin, the first one actually has nothing to do with our portfolio. It has to do with what's draining your income. I'm not talking about all debt. I'm talking about high interest, lifestyle debt, credit cards, car loans, personal loans, student loans. Because here's the truth. Every dollar of debt you carry is a dollar your retirement income never gets to enjoy.
That's right.
And according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute, people who carry debt into retirement are significantly less confident and more stressed about money. Now, this doesn't mean your mortgage has to be gone, although we like to help you with that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it does mean you're not relying on credit, your cash flow isn't stretched, your lifestyle doesn't depend on borrowing. If you could stop working tomorrow and your income wouldn't immediately get eaten up by all of these payments, that's your first green light. And once debt is out of the way, the next question becomes, do you actually have a safety net?
That's awesome, because biblically, you're supposed to be debt-free. So let's go into number 2.
Yeah, number 2, is your safety net really in place, right? This is where most people misunderstand retirement. They think it's about investments, but retirement confidence actually comes from certainty, not returns. Your safety net includes Medicare eligibility, Social Security timing, guaranteed or predictable income sources. These are the foundations that don't care what the market's doing. When these pieces are in place, retirement stops being fragile. Here's a simple way to tell. Let's say the market dropped 20% next year. Would you still be able to pay your bills, cover health care, sleep at night, quite frankly? If the answer is yes, your foundation is solid. And once your safety net is secure, the next question becomes, is your portfolio actually built for retirement? Okay, let me pause here for a second. If what I'm saying is resonating with you, if Alvin's thoughts are not random, this is exactly what we help people sort through every day at Valoram Solutions, figuring out whether they're actually ready to retire and what needs to happen next. If you want clarity on where you really stand, whether your income is set up correctly, and what your next move should be, here's a link below where you can book a conversation with our team. We're going to walk you through your situation, give you a straight answer, and help you understand what's working and what isn't. Now let's get back to the next sign, because this one is critical.
Number 3, I think we're getting into the portfolio now.
Number 3, is your portfolio actually built for income or growth? This is one of the biggest mistakes I see. Most people go into retirement with the same portfolio they used while working, but here's the problem with that. A growth portfolio is designed to accumulate money. A retirement portfolio is designed to pay you. Those are 2 very different jobs. A retirement-ready portfolio usually has cash or short-term reserves. It has stable income assets, long-term growth investments. Why is that? So you're not forced to sell investments during a market downturn just to pay your bills. Here's a very simple test. So if the market dropped tomorrow, could you go 12 to 24 months without selling stock? If the answer is yes, you're thinking like a retiree. If not, you're still in the accumulation mode. And that leads to the next critical sign.
Yeah, and this is the big one that I suffer from too. I don't even know what my life costs. What are my expenses?
Absolutely, Alvin. This is where clarity really changes everything. Most people know how much they earn. Very few know how much they actually need. And there's a huge difference. Being retirement ready means you know your essential expenses, you know your discretionary spending, and you know what your lifestyle actually costs per month. Because retirement isn't about replacing your income, it's about funding your life. Once you know that number, everything else becomes simpler. How much income you need, how long your money lasts, how aggressive or conservative you can be. If you can clearly answer, what does my life cost each month? You're so close to retirement, a lot closer than most people realize. Now comes the emotional turning point, right?
Yes, the emotional turning point is when the kids leave. You know, you've got kids, I've got kids. They're all getting older, and it's emotional because then they're not going to be dependent on us. But that is a turning point. It's a pivotal point in planning, is it not?
Absolutely. I'm in that stage right now. I'm about to be an empty nester next year. And that's a big one. And it's rarely talked about, actually. Many people, they delay retirement, not because they can't afford it, but because they're still financially supporting someone else. Maybe it's adult children, perhaps it's aging parents or other family obligations. And there's nothing wrong with that. But retirement becomes realistic when the kids really are financially independent. You're no longer the financial safety net, and your money is finally actually working for you. This is what I call the oxygen mask moment. When you actually can finally put yours on first, and when that happens, something shifts mentally, which brings us to that final step.
Exactly. And that final step is you're actually starting to think about retirement. Is that not right?
Oh, and doesn't it sound so simple? And yet it's so powerful. People who aren't ready to retire don't think about it. They don't watch videos like this. They don't ask questions. They don't explore options. If you're here right now, it means that something inside of you is already asking, am I closer than I think? And what I've noticed after working with over thousands of retirees in just the last several years, that question almost never shows up before the financial pieces are in place. It usually shows up after they already are, but before the person has the confidence to act on them. And that's exactly what happened with the next couple I want to tell you about.
Perfect. I know David and Carol, so let's talk a little bit about them.
I love David and Carol's story. On paper, they were ready, but emotionally, they were absolutely terrified. They kept saying, just one more year. But when we actually walked through these 6 signs, we talked about debt control, income defined, safety net put in place, portfolio structured correctly, spending clearly understood, no longer supporting others. They realized something really powerful. They weren't unprepared. They were just waiting for permission. Once they saw that full picture, the anxiety disappeared, and they retired earlier than they even thought was possible.
That's so awesome. This is such a great feeling when we're able to guide people and help them. I mean, I love what we do. I totally love what we do. So let me be very clear about what happens next. If you've watched this video and you're recognizing yourself in these signs, the next step isn't more content. It's a conversation. At Valoram Solutions, that conversation is where we look at your situation in detail and determine one of 2 things. Either 1, you're already in a strong position and just need confirmation. We'll do that. Or 2, there are gaps in your plan that could cost you time, money, or peace of mind if they're left unaddressed. This conversation is simply a chance to walk through. Where are you today? What are your retirement portfolios really looking like on paper? And whether our approach actually makes sense for you. And if it does, we'll show you what working together looks like. If it doesn't look like it's for you, you'll walk away with clarity either way. So if you're serious about getting out of uncertainty and into a real plan, click the link in the description and schedule a time to talk. Because retirement isn't something you guess your way through. It's something you decide with the right information. We'll see you at the next one.